Big cat, how you came to be is no longer a mystery. Black sheep is your birthright. It's code for the one who brings the light. I bet if there's a crack, you don't fall back. Remember who you are. No rest for the wicked with their skullduggery. The use spell workers' projection to send out envy, hate, and jealousy. You are the prototype, your ancestors champion. They shield you and send back those spiritual attacks. You are divinely protected from the dummy bats. Yeah. Big cat, the most high, got your back. He sits high and looks low, so don't get smoked or smoke yourself. Big cat, moving silence. Only time you speak is to say checkmate.
Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555. For your message or messages, come in, come on. I've got intel. Recon is afoot. May your comings and goings be forever covered by the grace of the Most High. When in doubt, go within. As you can see, bestie, I'm traveling at this moment in time, so everything's a bit topsy-turvy. But I've got my cards, so we're going to dive right in, darling dears. Let's see what's out there for you. Yes, I will be filling you in once I leave this area, darling dears. Ha ha! You never know who's watching. Let's dive in. All right. We're going to lead with the dice. I forgot the camera, the stand for my iPad. So you're on the table, darling dears. You're on the table. You're at ground zero. Good golly and the gosh, darling dears. You have the energy of a 3. Can you see it? It's fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. The energy of the 3, darling dears. You could be a life path 3, or the numbers 3, 12, 21, and 30 will be on your hemisphere over the next few days. The number 3 also rules the letters C, L, and U. It's ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter's about expansion. Skrilla. I can barely tap the floor. .com, darling dears. Okay. Jupiter rules, as I said, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, as we all know, as I've been telling you many, many times, darling dears, Sagittarius is the house of God, the house of spirituality, all of this and that, darling dears. So the 9th house is also going to cover things like travel. Somebody's traveling at this moment in time, as am I. As are you, bestie. Okay. It's the house of higher education. It's the house of self-discovery. It's the house of in-laws. Okay. Foreign people, foreign places. As I said, higher education. All of this and that is incorporated within the number 3. Okay. The number 3 rules the letters, as I said, C, L, U. Jupiter rules the letters C, G, L, and S. It's about your creativity, darling dears, feeling extremely motivated at this moment in time. Your luckiest numbers will be the 3, 6, and 9. Come through Tesla with the key to the universe. Posh, clap. All right. Your luckiest days will be Thursday and Sunday. Okay. The energy of the 3 is representative of an astrological aspect of a trine, okay? And we love a trine, darling dears. Why? It's about your natural talents, darling dears, creating opportunities for yourself. All right. The energy of the 3 is about your self-expression, your creativity. It's about your communications, darling dears. This and that. Okay? According to the Loshu grid, the energy of the 3, lean in, bestie. Lean in. Is your it's about your health. It's, as I said, it's about your family. It's about your community. Some of you are expanding your communities. Okay, it's the element of wood. Okay, and it also speaks about early spring, which we are in, baby. And your colors, your power colors will be the color green. Remember, I told you that. All right, shall we press on? Yes, we're about to press on. No, yeah. The energy of the 3, according to the 48 laws of power, darling dears, is about you masking your intentions. Yeah. Never reveal your full plan. Tell no one nothing. And if you've got to tell, you can tell me, because I won't tell anyone. I'll probably be doing your reading. Or if you can't hold it, tell the Most High only. No one else. Why? You don't want no one to scupper you. You don't want to be on the rocks of life, darling. There's good golly and the gosh. The energy of the 3 is about you let them believe, right, that they got you figured out, darling dears, while you work in the shadows, right, towards your own end, whatever it is, darling dears, right? You have to use the element of surprise as your greatest weapon. Like, you got to, like Kendrick Lamar says, sometimes you got to pop up and show them. Fist bump. Let's carry on. I like the angle of this camera, you know. I might keep it like this when we get back to the UK, darling dears. I'm telling you, you won't believe where I am. I'm going to be making some films as I go throughout the week into certain places that I go into, okay, so that I can upload and let you know what's going on. But this, I'm telling you, this, where I am right now, I plotted this journey according to my astro-cartography graph. We all have a graph, okay, just like we've got our birth natal chart, and certain parts on your chart is fated for you to go. Just saw 555 on the counter, darling dears. Good golly and the gosh. The energy of 555 means what? Gateways, pathways are opening up for you, darling dears. It's about you what? Putting on your party hat because your time has arrived. I love it. I don't hate it. Okay. Let's move forward. I've lost my train of thought, but I shall carry on. Look at this. Confirmation by the bell, darling dears. The energy of 555, right? Your wildest ride is just beginning, darling dears. As I was saying about my astro-cartography graph, I can plot them for you, darling dears. The reason why I chose this place is because the planetary lines that are crossing this place at this moment in time is Neptune, Pluto, and Jupiter, darling dears. Jupiter about abundance and luck. Remember, Jupiter is the 9th house, the house of God, darling dears. Neptune is about your dreams. It's about higher learning, using your imagination, but it's also about spirituality, darling dears. Okay. And the energy of Venus. We all know Venus is about self-worth. It's about money. It's about artistry, darling dears. Listen, because you see, choosing just random places to go, that's all well and good, but it's better to go according to your cartography. Then you can check it out according to your Chinese astrology, if this is a good place for you, because I'm a fire goat, so I like to go to fire goat countries, darling dears. But on this particular journey, I followed my what? My fated line. Remember, I told you that. Pardon me, that's a spiritual belt, because I speaks the truth. Roof. Pinkies up. Right. Let's press on. Hold on, I'm feeling as though I've forgotten something. The energy of 3 is Jupiter energy, darling dears. The energy of 3, according to the tarot, is the Empress energy, darling dears. And we love the Empress. Why? Because it's about femininity. You could be going through your feminine side. We all have feminine in all of us, darling dears. Some people use it for what? Wickedness, darling dears. Wickedness. But it's about beauty. It's about nature. Maybe you are going out into nature, darling dears, expanding yourself. This is about you being extremely nurturing onto others, okay? But it's about abundance that's coming back to you, darling dears, from wherever you set into motion. Energy of the 3, darling dears, according to the dice, it's about conflict and drama.com. Someone hasn't forgotten you. They're arguing at your back, darling dears, arguing and quarreling. Why? Because the people outside the perimeter are watching your direction change, darling dears. Yeah, many people's gonna see it as a tada moment. It isn't a tada, because you set it in motion, darling dears, and you are shocking people. Well, the right people will be shocked in the right ways, but the ones that don't want it, They'll be screaming into the abyss, darling dears, into the void. Why? Because it's you, bestie. Okay, because the energy of the 3 is also about what gossip, darling dears. It's the 3rd house. Okay, and the 3rd house is about communication. Again, it's about higher learning. You could be learning a new language, but it's about your mind, darling dears. Your mind is open. You're learning new things, gaining new knowledge. It's the 3rd house is also about short journeys, but we also had the 9th house, which is long journeys, darling dears. Something to do with your early education. The 3rd house is also representative of the goddess, and the 9th house is the house of God. As I said to you, darling dears, we love it. We don't hate it. So they're talking about you, are they? Let's get to the cards. Or should I say to the decks? Normally, I like to show the decks, but because I don't have the stand, you're making progress, darling dears. What's this? I blamed you for an STD. STD is not just something kicking in your pantaloon, darling dears. STD is what? Spiritually attached demon. Yes, baby. They blamed you for it, darling dears. Or maybe they're saying that they're being cursed at this moment in time and blaming you. Why? Because as they go down, you're going up. The only way is up. Baby, for you and me. Okay then, right? Yeah, this person is a criminal, darling dears. A past of violence, darling dears, possibly against you. Or they could have used their words in a violent way, darling dears. Yeah, this deck has closed itself. Let's go to another deck. Right, I bought a few cards. I didn't bring all of them. I couldn't do that because why? You know how much you have to, you can only carry 23 kilograms and you've got to make sure it's on the letter. Matter of fact, you've got to make it lighter. Why? Because you want to bring things back. So, yeah. Let's go to the next deck. What's this? A bottom feeder, an opportunist, unsatisfied eyes, darling dears, a clout chaser, validated by others and other people's things and energy, darling dears. What? They want what you have. Of course they want what you have. Of course they do. Of course they do. Listen, nobody's going to break into an empty house here. There's something that they want of you, darling dears. And this deck has now closed itself. Yeah, let them talk, darling dears. And it seems like a lot of my readings is about that because this is where they're directing their energy towards. Right? Instead of using their energies for good, they're using it for wickedness. I'm trying to open up this curtain a little bit. Because where my room is right now, it's on the 11th floor. And I'm afraid to go near the windows, blood. Listen. You get that vertigo like you're going to fall out? No. Right. Let's press on. Let's press on. Let's get your oracle ancestral message. Right. The peacekeeper. Was it let go of the need to be right? Let them be right in whatever they're saying, darling dears. You've got a white buffalo behind you. This is a rarity, darling dears. It's something that only comes once in a lifetime for some, darling dears. If you see this, great fortune is about to befall you. Remember, I told you that. Okay. Let go of every situation, darling dears. Let it go. Why? Because you've got the Sun card, darling dears, the happiest card in the deck. Because you're about to enjoy success and happiness. Remember, I told you that. All right. Base of the deck, darling dears, mountains. Right? Whatever situation you're in right now, stand your ground, Scott. Hey, had to put my back into it, darling dears. Somebody's going to try and test your boundaries, but you've got the Sun card, darling dears. As I said, the happiest card in the deck. Is about positivity. It's about your success. It speaks about your vitality, darling dears. You're going through something. Could be a health issue, but that's not what's going to be the problem, darling dears. You've got the magic guardian at your back, right? Unlocking your magic within. And we've also got what? The Shaolin Master, Mr. Who moves in silencio, darling dears. Law number 4 of the 48 laws of power, where you learn to say less. This is very important, darling dears, because silence is your power. Talk less, observe more. Open up your eyes and your third eyes up in this bish. The more you speak, the more you reveal, right? Let them talk first, darling dears. I'm learning this myself because I'm usually a chatty cat, darling dears. But now, give people a chance to speak, and so they can say whatever they want to say. More often than not, they putting their foot in their mouth, darling dears. And you've already what? You've already... They've already gone through the court case. And they're now in what? Spiritual prison. So let them talk. You move in silence. Some of you may be doing the martial arts, darling dears. Could be yoga, breathing practices, Tai Chi, whatever it is, darling dears. I love it. I don't hate it. Be graceful in movement and action, darling dears. Action speaks louder than words. Okay. We've got a grasshopper, darling dears. These locusts, listen, everybody's afraid of the locusts because if they visit you, you'll have nothing left. So you're moving like a locust, a big cat locust. I love it. All right, let's press on. Let's press on. Okay. Someone with a criminal past, they want to be you, darling dears. It's your energy that they want. They're a bottom feeder who's up to wickedness. Okay, to the decks. Let me make some space on this table. Can I make space on this table? Move these things back without toppling everything over. Seems strange, doesn't it? I know. You'll get used to it, darling dears. And as soon as you're used to it, we're back to our usual screening program. Or was it programming times? Okay, it's about your progress, darling dears. And who comes forward? The Empress. Abundance. Weren't we just talking about the Empress? Energy of the 3 and all that, darling dears. This is Venus as well as Earth energy. This is abundance coming towards you. For some, it could speak about you being, you could be a mother or father, darling dears, because this is male or female, feminine energy that's coming through. Somebody who's about to give birth, darling dears. But it also speaks about you stepping up to the mic. The 3rd house is about your communication. You could be doing this communication online, darling dears. But whatever you're building, darling dears, know the 9th house is involved in this. It's being built in the house of the Most High. Base of the deck, and all you can see is happiness ahead, darling dears. Good golly and the gosh. So this is why they're talking. Okay. Happiness ahead. Loyalty, darling dears. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Yeah. Coming towards you. We've also got what? Somebody who had lots of options, darling dears. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. The 7 of Cups, darling dears. Somebody that had a lot of choices. Yeah, they had a lot of choices. They weren't content with what their lot in life, darling dears, and created a lot of issues for themselves within these choices. Okay, but it also says that you have new options opening up for you. This is Venus as well as what? Scorpio energy, darling dears. Okay, what did I say? New opportunities coming towards you. Energy of the 3 again, darling dears, at the beginning and end. It could be a job opportunity, but it's for some, you're going to be recognized as a major craftsperson in your field. Why the mountains, darling dears? Still waters run deep. Listen, it's the things that you've not expressed, which is about to start coming out, darling dears. And the mountains is what? Deep knowledge, darling dears. You're being able to share. You also have the Ace of Wands. This is a passionate new beginning, darling dears. Opportunities coming towards you. It could also represent a partner that's coming towards you. Yes. Okay. Let's give it a good shufty, darling dears, and digress and digest what we've got on the tableau. Let me move back a bit. It's better if I move back a bit. Clarify the Empress, who knows her worth, darling dears. When they ate us, what do? We nine them. right? We 9 them. These cards aren't really going together, darling dears. Clarify the Empress. As I said, you could be a mother or father. It's about, as I said, you know your worth in a situation. You're between two trees. This is duality. This is you listening to your intuition. You've got a King of Wands coming your way, darling dears. The Empress is Venus energy. And Venus rules Taurus and Libra, okay? As well as Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo. We've also got Aries, Leo and Sagittarius, darling dears. This is, hey, you have a fated meeting coming towards you, darling dears, right? And the beauty of it, you're not even looking for each other, darling dears. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're living your life like it's golden. Yes. But this is definitely coming towards you, darling dears. Or it could also represent you, darling dears. This is you stepping up to the mic. The King of Wands is somebody who is futuristic thinking, darling dears. This person is extremely charming. But it also speaks about you being spiritually guided in this situation, darling dears. Whatever the situation is, whether it's a love situation, a business situation, or you within yourself, you are most definitely stepping up to the mic. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Good golly. And the gosh, darling dears. And the gosh. The 10 of Pentacles in the reverse is about some kind of a reverse in your fortune, darling dears. This could be destabilization. Maybe you lost a home. On the King of Wands and the Empress, it could also speak about retirement. Maybe you left a job space. You're not going to be going back there, Scotty. Okay? But it's letting go of a situation is bringing a new level of happiness for you, darling dears. Maybe you've created a situation, darling dears. Yeah, where you let go of something, but what you're getting back in return is something which is going to be stable abundance. Remember, I told you that. Good golly and the gosh. Look at this, darling dears. The Queen of Pentacles. Again, it's telling me that you know your worth. You're looking back at a past situation. Could have been involved with the King of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, darling dears. Somebody who was fiery and passionate. But this person, you're behind this King of Wands. They didn't see you for whom you were, darling dears. They saw you as small. They left you when you was at your lowest, darling dears. Best thing that ever happened to you. Oh, child. This is what? You are what? You are a tortoise cat, darling dears. We ain't got no time to be the hare. We're the tortoise cat. We take our time to get where we're going. You've got somebody coming towards you. This is abundance. Oh, you're surrounded by Skrilla.com, darling dears. Yeah. It also speaks about a message. You've got a message coming towards you. 2 pages. This is not your progeny, darling dears. This is a new beginning in abundance, a passionate new beginning. It also speaks about jealousy. We see that. Look at the eyes. They're slick with it, darling dear. Slick with it. The this and the that, darling dears. Whenever we see 2 pages together, it speaks about what? Disagreements being afoot. Good golly and the gosh, darling dears. Somebody's disagreeing with what you've got going on for yourself. This is the Palace of Pentacles. Money. Fabulous, gorgeous and lovely. Did you hear the confirmation of the bell, darling dears? Yeah, spirituality. Somebody tried to keep you stuck. It also speaks about somebody possibly going to prison, as we already saw the violence in the past. They had it against you, darling dear. Look, all the competition they put you in, darling, is possibly a cheater and a beater. Imagine that, and they ain't got no money. Even if they got money and they're doing it, they're still wrong, lad. Yeah, them wrong. Clarify the 3 of Pentacles. They did not expect you to overcome a situation, darling dears. Empress in the reverse. Lots of jealousy being directed at you. Yeah, told you, make sure that you protect yourself. When I travel, I always have on my black obsidian. Right? With my evil eye. My ocean jab spot for opening my mind and my willpower. Yes, baby. All of the this and the that. Okay. Split the deck, darling dears. It was a love situation, but it's a situation that you're no longer choosing, darling dears. You're choosing something else, possibly yourself, darling dears. Empress energy. Yeah. And what? They're going through their judgment. You got to leave them to their sufferation, darling dears. They didn't ask for it. They begged for it. They begged for it. And they got exactly what they wasn't expecting. Yeah, somebody knows karma, darling dears. As you're becoming more stable, you're surrounded by pentacles. These bottom feeders with the unsatisfied eyes, darling dears. They want you to be stuck in the bargain bucket. Look what fell out in the upright. Ace of Swords. It's the truth roof. Pinkies up. Yeah. This is a situation where there was no love. Right? Libra energy is one-to-one relationships, darling dears. Whether business, family, friends, or whatever, darling dears. There was no love in this situation. Right? And you're over it. What's this? Because that situation that you was in, darling dears, it affected you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of the above. Yeah, this person was a karmic in your life, darling dears, personal people. Okay, let's go to another deck, and then we're out of here to get great. Okay, we're gonna finish up with Situation Love Oracle deck. Final intel. Yeah, coffee cup, darling dears. Somebody wants some of your time. Yeah, because now they're chasing you. Now they love you long time. They love you long time. Let them be forever the chaser, darling dears. They're chasing you now because they fear abandonment and what? They're codependent, darling dears. A shepherd of the devil. Good golly and gosh. Well, yeah. Take a picture, darling dears. It will last forever. You're being watched, darling dears. They want to see what your next move. They're reminiscing. Right? They're going down memory lane. And memory lane was full of what wickedness for you, darling dears. Wasn't you just on the rocks of life? Huh? Wasn't you just dressing as Quasimodo's bestie? Huh? Listen, I am, right, a pointer, not a picker. I've told you many times that I was a dummy bat for half of 100. So if you can top that, it's not a good thing, darling dears. It's not something that you want to be, right? But when you learn, once you learn something, you can't unlearn it. And you have to remember, common sense is a superpower amongst the feeble-minded, right? These creatures from the backwoods with yarn for hair. They're chasing you and watching you, darling dears. But you've learned from the past. This is why you're moving forward. Yeah, you have to. The only way is up. And as I said, for some, this is a love match. Cupid's arrow is about to do its work, darling dears. And this ship is for sailing, right? Because you cut ties, you're moving on from the past, right? Progression and arriving. This could be you crossing sea, darling dears, or you've crossed the sea, but somebody's about to meet someone significant, right? Because you're healing hard. Your heart's no longer broken, darling dears. You've come out of the DNS. Hurrah! Hurrah! Where's my... Hurrah for you, big cat. Hurrah! Right? Yeah, you're no longer healing that broken heart. And anyone from the past, not today, same turn, darling dears. You've got boundaries. Big shaboinking boundaries. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, pick up some of the channel merch, my Patreon where I upload my extended videos. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. Oh, I'm trying to control all this. Hold on, I'm a one-woman cat, darling dears. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat. That was a bit back to front, but you know what I mean. Big cat wave.